This is Van Electric Ghost, and we're talking about some of the latest tracks we came up with. We are big purveyors of DAWless recording. So on the weekend, we did an Instagram Live show using our iPhone XS Max on a boom and using the Go mixer from Roland to capture it directly a signal coming from our R24 Zoom and our MX1 Performance mixer and all of our hardware synths. We actually focused the camera on our Moog grandmother, and it was primarily a Moog grandmother DFAM Mother 32 Performance that we call Babe Bathed in Blue Light, and the Babe is the grandmother from Moog. Initially, didn't have any lyrics, and then we kind of scattered this idea of the Babe Bathed in Blue Light, which is an ode to the grandmother synthesizer. So that is a long 20-minute exercise of improvisation on analog synth, playing with all the capabilities of a grandmother in real time. So the one cool thing about playing with an analog synth like the grandmother is the ability to play all the surface controls live and get all kinds of interesting performances. We like to use the pitch control over the oscillators, which causes a lot of distortion. So that's pretty cool when you can do that. And then also playing with the reverb and playing with the modulation wheel and the pitch wheel, bender wheel, and all the other modulation capabilities, like using the cutoff on the low pass filter. We also had it rotated into the high pass filter through controlled voltage. Like I said, the DFAM provided the rhythm, and we were playing with the DFAM being affected, taking the LFO out of the Mother 32 and bringing it into the DFAM to alter the beat. In addition, we were doing some interesting things with our other synths, like our Roland and JDXI. And we get into the song Symbiotic Parasitic Host, which is actually using the Roland VT4 vocal transformer for Josephine Electric's voice. And it's mastered using the new SoundCloud mastering tool with the Dolby capability, which is pretty interesting. You can actually master for only $3.99 a track if you're a pro member. So then SoundCloud gives you kind of one stop. You can master, you can promote on repost, you can actually distribute to all the streaming services like iTunes and Spotify and Tidal. And then you have overall control of your actual promotion. You can get onto playlists. You can do additional things. You can create pre-saves and web pages that have the click links for your whole project. So it's a pretty cool endeavor that they're doing now. It's a full service thing that we take advantage of. The song Symbiotic Parasitic Host is this idea of Josephine Electric, which we had on her channel talk about the song. It originally was called Girl Ghost, and then this version has an additional multi-track of a Moog grandmother doing very atmospheric, heavy synthesis. It's kind of very raw power, kind of 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor inspired from the Mini Moog. And the grandmother has the ability to do a lot of Mini Moog type of things in terms of sound quality. And so we were very happy to kind of take advantage of that. And we like to do a lot of overdubs with our analog synths lately. We've been focusing on using the trio of the grandmother and the Mother 32 and the DFAM. Now, we've seen there's a lot of controversy out there now talking about the Prophet 5 versus the Moog 1. I would say the Moog 1, there's really nothing that compares to it, in terms of price and capability. It's 3 fully polyphonic analog synths on top of each other. It's the living embodiment of the memory Moog as in a board that's more reliable, but it does have issues from what we've heard. But it is a total synthesis dream in terms of analog synthesis. But then the Prophet 5 has this history with the new wave movement. When I was a kid, I went to a Guitar Center and I saw it. I was always kind of hesitant about Prophet. When I saw it, I was like, well, I don't really know how to figure this out. I always liked the Jupiter and Jupiter like 8 and the Juno 106 workflows look easier to understand. Um, and once the Jupiter 8 came in, it had 8 voices versus the Prophet 5's 5 voices. Now, I know the 5 voices of the Prophet 5 have a certain sound you can't really get anywhere else, except you actually can get them in patches on the Prophet 6. So my whole thing is, well, why wouldn't you just get a Prophet 6? Because the Prophet 6 has a sequencer. Prophet 6 has some more capability. It has an additional voice. He's got oscillator, you can turn to LFO. It's got a lot of capabilities. The Power 5 doesn't, and it costs less money. So why would you do that? And then again, it's like, why wouldn't you just get a Rev 2? Well, I said, well, it's got DCOs. So then you get to the argument that DCOs don't sound like VCOs. And you can make that argument, but the Prophet 8 is going to give you a lot more capability. I mean, the Rev 2 is a lot cheaper. It's got more voices, got sequencers, got more modulation points. But I guess it really comes down to it if you're looking for that Prophet 5 sound. And if you think about the Moog 1, well, Prophet 5 is probably more accessible because even you get a 10 voice Prophet 10 for like 4,000 versus almost 7,000, 8,000 for a Moog 1. So, yeah, if you think about that. And then you're looking out there and say, well, you could branch out into things like the new Polybrute, which is 6 voice, like a Prophet 6, or you could think about a UDO Super 6, which is kind of hybrid analog. You could get into the Korg Prologue, but I think people seem to prefer the Roland sound, or you can even think about getting a Matriarch because, paraphonic up to 5 voices if you play with the LFO. So there's a lot of choices, even though it seems like maybe there's limited, even within Dave Smith's own line, you can say, well, you could get, you could look at the Prophet X. And a Prophet X is kind of like in the idea of a Kronos or a Phantom. But then when I look at all of these, and I look at that price point, and I'm looking at what I need as a musician in my studio, and I have a Juno GI since 2008. She's got a little long in the tooth, but it works. So if I was going to get a polyphonic synth, I don't know if I'd focus on the analog as much as what the capabilities are in the workstation today. To me, the Phantom, where it's analog filter and it's, the new Zencore engine, which is a new version, has a lot more voices than System 8 analog engine, faux analog engine. And it has an RD piano. And the RD piano alone is worth, as somebody who's a composer, having the ability to have an RD piano, then having a full recording studio at the board, which is a hardware synthesis. I like having a board that I can do everything from the board. I'm kind of an old school guy. I like the old Phantoms. I like the Kronos. I like those Korg M1s because I like to be able to record right at the board, right at the instrument, and being able to have that view, have a TR recording, have the ability to play with all the filters and play with all the surface controls in real time, and then have a central way to record it that's very similar to like an Ableton or a Pro Tools or, any main stage. You have the ability, you could get a little adapter, put your laptop on top, send it right into whatever DAW you want. But I'd probably just send it right to a Zoom L20 after I did everything and record it at 96, to get it to the SD card and then send it through my SoundCloud mastering on Dolby and then send it out. That's probably what I would do. Because that's the workflow I've been using, and I can create a lot of music. And I know of recording engineers will, approach me all the time trying to get me to pay them $300 for one track. I'm kind of sorry because I come from a time when I used to, I listened to IRS, SST, some of the small record labels, and I kind of like that indie sound. I don't need the kind of modern, highly produced sound because it kind of takes away from what I'm trying to do. So I don't need to spend $300 on a recording engineer to do my work because I kind of want a little lo-fi in it. So I think the way I've been doing it. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's a fool's errand because recording engineers are artists in themselves. It's like, well, if I get to that artist level where I can afford to have Susan Rogers doing my recording, somebody at that level or something like that, yeah, fine, I would do it, but I can't really afford it in this age, so I'm going to do it myself. So again, these songs are examples of what we call expansive sound, which is the idea of doing stream of consciousness recording, where you take poetry, which we started as a poet with poems, and then gradually turn these poems into songs. And we like the idea of just doing this kind of improvisational beat poetry and then improvisational electronic music that's inspired by bands like Sun Ra, great American jazz bebop outfit that became, a free jazz type outfit in the 60s with Space is the Place. We really think you ought to dig Jazz and Silhouette from the 50s, late 50s. But Space is the Place is what a lot of people know them from that documentary. But listen to Jazz and Silhouette, and you will hear some of the best bebop you've ever heard. And then again, the other people we're inspired by is Parliament Funkadelic, Bernie Worrell, George Clinton. These are the continuation of James Brown funk into the psychedelic, into the rock arena, which actually is the birth of like Minneapolis sound as a combination of taking ideas from jazz, like Sun Ra and Coltrane, ideas from Santana and Hendrix, and ideas from Funkadelic, and then straight rock, rock and roll, which comes from like Lead Belly, Robert Johnson, those type of ideas emerging into a modern sound. That also was inspired by the German band Kraftwerk. And so what we like to do is take all these influences, even influences like Dylan and Johnny Cash in terms of lyrical content and structure. And on the punk side, bands like Husker Du, Paul Westerberg and the Replacements, Joy Division, New Order, Depeche Mode. These are our inspirations for what we like to do. We've been recently listening to the big Prince reissue of Sign of Times, which really justifies, at a Dylan level. The last time I saw a collection that was this big was the original Basement tapes, which was about 6 hours. The Sign of Times comes in at 8 hours. And what's great about it is, I was a big bootleg collector for a long time. I had multiple versions of Dream Factory and Crystal Ball, which are big efforts from that time period from 87 to 88. And it's really a great collection. I would say things that are missing, songs like Go, which I think maybe they would save it for a reissue of Parade. And then some of the Love Sexy tracks, but they do have The Ball, a really good version of The Ball, which is like an early version of I Know. And they've got a lot of deep tracks I've never heard before. That's really awesome. Like Cosmic Day, which most collectors only had like a minute of Cosmic Day, which seems like it's a Camille track, but it was never indicated that it would be on Camille, which is Prince's female alter ego. And, Camille is the big inspiration for Josephine Electric. And with the modern technology of not actually using an analog tape and speeding it up or slowing it down, we use the Roland VT3 and VT4 or the vocoder technology and the JDXI to create a female voice similar to what Prince was doing with Camille, but able to do it in real time. And then really focus on the idea of Josephine not just being an androgynous representation of myself, but actually being a female character within the band, somewhat like the idea of the Gorillaz, of having a cartoon kind of based, anime based band is what Phantom Electric Ghost is. And so we were very impressed with this collection. We also like the Please to Meet Me reissue, which has tons of outtakes. So if you're into actual collecting vinyl and CD, these are two great releases to get on vinyl and CD. We have the CD version of Sign of Times. Hope to get the Replacements Please to Meet Me reissue, which is great. We're looking forward to see what they do with the next Prince project. They kind of skipped over Parade. They skipped over Around the World in a Day. There's a lot of good stuff on those albums. There's a lot of outtakes from that period. So we're wondering what they're going to do. We would hope our dream would be to do a reissue that is Around the World Today, Parade, Love Sexy and a Black Album with all the outtakes. And it would be another big collection like this Sign of the Times collection. We're also very interested in a project that Prince did with Tim Burton called Teal. It was this idea he was going to recreate himself before he created the love symbol as this teal concept. And supposedly like an 18, 20-minute movie by Tim Burton with, I think it's called Teal Cloud. And there was this whole stage they built to do this in Vegas, but it was rejected. And there's a full album. Not only that, there's supposedly a full album with Bob Mould from Who's Kadu. And there's a full album from Soul Asylum. An album with Soul Asylum. So it showed that Prince was actually looking at working with one of my favorite post-punk, power punk artists, Bob Mould, and then also Soul Asylum, which was a really like an alternative band, a great alternative band. So it shows the depth of where he was willing to go. And I would like to see projects like that, and even like The Undertaker fully reissued with a good video version. And also Love Sexy concerts from Berlin, from '88, which are fantastic. The interesting thing is in the Sign of the Times reissue, the concert from Paisley Park actually has studio performance, stage craft that you see in the '88 Love Sexy. It seems that this is the last show of the Sign of the Times tour, but they're already doing stage skits that I saw on the '88 television performance from German TV, which I have a videotape of. Waiting for that to get reissued. And also the small club performance, which is a really famous way to Just My Imagination. So I kind of devolved into this Prince fanboy thing. But, Prince is a big inspiration. If you hear my music, you probably hear it. Along with my techno and new wave and punk inclinations. We hope that you enjoy this. Please, as always, hit the sponsor buttons for PayPal Me. If you want to be on the program as an artist, contact us on our website, which is use the secure website of https://fanelectricghost.com. And then you can send a message to us there and book on the show. We do free audio podcasts, but our video podcast, because the time that we have to put into them and the technology involved, we do ask for a fee through our PayPal Me of $25 for those. If that offends you, then I'm sorry. We had one person, 2 years of doing this with over 27,000 listeners. One person got offended that we asked for money. I don't understand why that would be a problem, because there are people on the net right now charging way more than $25 to get on a podcast. And as we said, audio interviews are free, but video interviews going forward we're going to charge a fee. And we have a new program where we're on a different channel for different types of artists, like foodies and people who are pitching things. And those people who aren't musicians, we are charging a fee for that as an experiment to broaden our base of interviews. So I think all artists have a right to make income. If that offends you as an artist saying, "Oh, I don't think you should make money," it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't sell a T-shirt or ask for money on Patreon. So, we were somewhat offended by that person, and we can tell them to kind of go stick it where the sun don't shine. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
3 years ago, fell in love with a girl or a ghost. Symbiotic parasitic host. Could leave you cold. 3 years ago, fell in love with a girl I didn't even know. Wanna have parasitic, symbiotic host. Kind of girl you should never know. You know we couldn't have bone. We couldn't have even had sex on the phone. Wouldn't show me her true face. Wouldn't show me her leg. It was all fake. And you know I took the bait. Big baby hate. And a big baby late. 3 years ago, fell in love with a girl like a girl. Symbiotic, parasitic host. The kind of girl that leaves you cold. 3 years ago, fell in love with a girl like a girl. Parasitic, pain, no. Parasitic, pain, oh. You know the kind of love that leaves you alone. The kind of love that gives you cocaine colds and makes you dig for gold. And any who's soul who will do it till you don't feel cold. 3 years ago, fell in love with a girl like a girl. Parasitic, symbiotic host. The kind of girl will leave you cold. The kind of love that leaves you alone. Like cocaine cold. And you know you never grow old. You may never grow old. 15 years ago, fell in love with a girl like a ghost. Symbiotic, parasitic host. The kind of girl you should never know. Kind of girl that's all about control. You never take it to feel her home. 3 years ago, got a girl like a ghost. Parasitic, symbiotic host. What kind of love leaves you cold? 3 years ago, fell in love with a girl like a ghost. Parasitic, symbiotic host. You never take it to do her on the phone. 3 years ago, fell in love with a girl on the phone. I didn't know what mother could do until I saw you. Oh, baby blue, I didn't know what mother could do until I saw the blue light on for you. I didn't know what a mother could do till I saw down, painted on love. I didn't know what mother could do till I saw painted on town on love. Didn't know what mother could do till I saw down, painted in love. I didn't know what mother could do till I saw down, painted in blue. Didn't know what mother could do till I saw down, painted in blue. Breathing out, nothing to do. I know that June is coming soon. Didn't know what mother could do till I saw Baytown bathed in blue. Baby blue, baby new. I know you feel brand new. go.